Hey guys, it's Stephen with Foxtrot Family Law. Thanks for tuning in on our Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're watching. Thanks for taking the time to find out how to be more effective in your child custody case. We've got a great question on ABO today that we're going to take a quick look at and talk about. Can my child see me if they want to at age 18 in Alabama? So in this case, we've got quote, my mom has custody, but my child wants to see me, wants to hang out, wants to go to lunch, maybe even wants to go on vacation with me and my family once that child is 18 years old. Great question, and it's a little bit nuanced. So the Juvenile Court of Alabama technically has jurisdiction over a child until either the age of 19, unless it's some sort of delinquency case, until which they might have jurisdiction until the child is 21 years old. Let's say if a delinquent child is serving out some sort of juvenile probation, the juvenile court can still take action up till 21. Child support, for instance, in the state of Alabama, runs until a child is 19. 18 is sort of this weird number in child custody. But what you would be focusing on in your case is not whether you can go to lunch or go on vacation and maybe get in trouble for interference with custody in some form or fashion. If there's a custody order that awards physical custody to the grandmother, but there's no restriction on visitation, there's no restriction on going to eat lunch. Maybe there's not even a restriction on going on a vacation if you have that set up in your visitation schedule. That shouldn't be a problem at 18. And honestly, from a practical perspective, even though Alabama is a little bit different in waiting until kids are 19 before they're vested with all the abilities of age as adults, buying cigarettes, signing a contract, an enforceable contract, etc., I just don't see a practical problem at age 18. I'd be very surprised if any judge anywhere takes issue with that. But it's really going to come down to the specifics of your custody order. Well, we're pretty clear that your mother, the grandmother, has custody, but specifically as to any restrictions on visitation. Because if there are no restrictions on visitation, whatever the order says is kind of the baseline. There's no harm going beyond the basic visitation schedule. In fact, most visitation orders, especially if you worked with a lawyer when crafting or requesting a judge to enter your visitation order, is going to say something like it's this weekend, that weekend, this day, that day, and at any and all other times that the parties may agree. And parties may agree, maybe that's not your mom who you don't necessarily get along with, but when we're talking about an 18-year-old child, maybe they've got their own vehicle, maybe they've got their own job, their own resources, their own mobility. Legally speaking, I've never really seen a problem with this, but like I say, that doesn't mean there's not going to be drama at 19, at 25, at 55. So I'll leave that part to your discretion. But you really need to get with a child custody lawyer in your area to look at your order to get specific legal advice for your situation. I'm just speaking in generalities here, and I hope that this sort of points you in the right direction on your next step. I hope you found this helpful. If you or anybody else did, you can certainly like, comment, or subscribe. And you can even visit www.thinkfoxtrot.com, click the book a consultation or whatever it says button to come see us. You can book an appointment right from our webpage. You don't need to speak with an assistant or a secretary or a receptionist. Just hop online, book a consultation, and come see us and talk more about your unique situation. Wish you guys the best. Talk soon.